All right, so yesterday we talked about Eugene Schwartz's 3 dimensions of buyer psychology from his book, Breakthrough Advertising. And today we're going to go even deeper into that chapter with his technique called gradualization. Gradualization this will make you a better copywriter. If you think through it, if you apply it in the copy that you write, the ads, the marketing pieces, the landing pages, the video sales letter, whatever persuasive messages you're trying to put out, heck, including just if you're trying to sell yourself or sell your product. Right? If you apply gradualization, it will make you a better copywriter, better persuader, better salesperson. So with that, let's dive into this first quote from Eugene Schwartz. As far as advertising is concerned, belief is immutable. It cannot be changed. It must be complied with at every step. Every one of the statements you make in your ad must fit in with your prospect's version of the facts at that precise moment. It's not the function of your ad to change those facts, but it is its function and one of its great sources of strength to extend them, to build a bridge of belief between those facts as they exist in your prospect's mind today and the ultimate facts your prospect must believe if he is to accept your claims. So, this is something like Eugene Schwartz is also famous for saying markets cannot be, people cannot be manipulated, persuaded, changed, right? All that you can do is you can channel. Actually, he said desire cannot be created. It can only be channeled in service of selling your product. And so this is him describing that process basically, right? So he's saying belief is immutable. It cannot be changed. It must be complied with at every step. You cannot contradict your prospect's beliefs in your advertising, not if you want it to be wildly successful. It's not the function of your ad to change those facts. But what you can do is, if water is starting to go down a channel, you can direct water towards whatever channel you desire, right? And so he says its function and one of its great sources of strength is to extend them, to build a bridge of belief between those facts as they exist in your prospect's mind today. So they have a current set of beliefs, and it is your job to bridge between those facts, between those beliefs, and the ultimate facts your prospect must believe if he is to accept your claims. And so I teased this a little bit in the questions that I gave you in yesterday's episode, talking about belief and talking about what is the sequence of beliefs that's required. So let's dive into what is Eugene Schwartz's gradualization technique. So gradualization, as he defined it, and my spell check said it's not a word, but good writers are prone to coming up with words, and this is a great one. Gradualization is the art of starting your ad with a statement that will be immediately and entirely accepted. So we're going to start our ad with a statement that's going to be accepted, and then building a chain of subsequent acceptances upon this first statement. So, you agree with that? Well, then this is also true, and this is also true, and this is also true, and this is also true. It builds a chain of subsequent acceptances. The purpose of this chain of acceptances is to lead your reader to a goal conclusion, which he will then accept, but which he would not as readily or as thoroughly have accepted without the preliminary statements. So, if you, just going back to some old advertising, some old investing ads that I wrote, or an investment promotion. One of them was about the growth of the Internet of Things and technology around that, and this distributed computing that happens at the edges of the Internet of Things. And so it was like, oh, if you have seen this news about this particular thing, well, here's what you need to know about that technology. That technology has these things going on with it right now, right? And these things that are going on are only happening because this company exists in this space and is creating and fueling this technology innovation. And this company, well, they have created this incredible opportunity through this big trend that you agreed with, that you have seen out in the world, right? And so this company has this huge advantage in the marketplace, and it also happens to be an investable company. And if you're interested in making a lot of money with your investments, this is a company that you should be invested in. And I can tell you exactly all about how to invest in this company if you sign up for my service. And so if I started off and said, you should buy my investment research service because because we have a great investment opportunity for you, well, they wouldn't necessarily agree with that out of the gate, right? But if we start with this, hey, you've seen the effects of this technology out in the world, and this is what's going on, and this is how you can invest in it, this is how you can make money with it, that is gradualization, right? And this can apply, it can apply all over the place. You just find what they can agree to be true, something going on that they can agree to be true, and you carry that through to the inevitable end of them deciding to buy your product. Okay, but how do you actually use this? Well, you're going to use it before you write a word of copy. You don't just sit down and start cranking this stuff out. You have to think about it beforehand. And I've actually talked about this before in the concept, like under the title of sequence of beliefs. And it's something that, I've used for a long time, but it's worth noting that Eugene Schwartz was, a proponent of this before many of the copywriters who teach it today. So, for example, in my sequence of beliefs video, I talked about working with Clayton Makepeace on a project, and we were kind of struggling to come up with what exactly the promotion needs to say. So Clayton said to me, Roy, what you need to do is you need to sit down and you need to answer this question. What do I, your prospect, have to believe to be true before I'll be interested in your offer? And he's asking for this in order, right? What do I have to believe to be true before I'll be interested in your offer? Sequence of beliefs, gradualization from, oh, I can agree with that, to 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 I can agree with that, to, oh, I guess I can agree with buying your product. Dan Kennedy in his book Speak to Sell was talking about structuring speeches. Specifically, he was using his famous magnetic marketing speech as an example here. And he was explaining how he structured story after story after story throughout the speech to get to the inevitable conclusion that in the last 5 minutes, 10 minutes of his presentation of his speech, when he laid out an offer, they had already gone through all of the agreements that were necessary. And he said there should be a few key ideas, and there should only be a few that you should seek audience grasp of that stack, establishing need and desire for what is being sold. There should be a few key ideas, and there should only be a few that you seek audience grasp of that stack, establishing need and desire for what is being sold, right? So he's laying out this exact same concept. We're coming at it from a few different angles. You need to decide, you need to figure out, you need to determine in the beginning, what are the things that my prospect has to agree with, starting with something that they can easily, readily agree with, or that they already believe. That eventually gets to the point where, oh, I guess the next agreement is I need to buy your product, right? And this is what I've called the sequence of beliefs. So what do they currently believe to be true, or what can be incontrovertibly proven to be true without objection? So going back to that technology example, I actually used the news items of Amazon's touchless grocery stores or cashierless grocery stores as an example, because it was in the news a lot at that point, and it was just this great this great visual of, imagine just walking into like a corner store, and all you do, you walk in, you grab what you want, and you leave, and you just get billed for it, and you don't even have to think about it, right? So it was this thing that was in the news a lot. I was able to say, like, look, this is what's happening. This is what all the media is saying about this technology. And then I was able to go backwards to the point where, oh, and we have this investment opportunity, right? What do they currently believe to be true, or what can be incontrovertibly proven to be true without objection? What next belief follows from that? And then what belief? And then what? Like, you're answering these questions. So they agree with this, and then what's the next belief, and the next belief, and the next belief, and the next belief? And how does this all add up to the belief that they must buy your offer to fulfill their desires? So when you do that, when you define that, you have the pitch for your product laid out, and then you just need to make the offer at the end. And so my question to you, your call to action from this episode is, how will you use this lesson going forward? You can leave that in the comments, or you can just think about it. This is all about active application of what you're picking up. And make sure that you like and subscribe so you can get more content like this delivered to you. I'm Roy Furr. This is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. And if you are interested in creating breakthrough marketing, lessons like this are going to help. And so you should absolutely like this video and subscribe so you get more content like this delivered to you. Also, I'll include a link to my 6-step belief shifting framework, which I went through all sorts of development of an understanding of this concept, and finally landed on this as what I think is the most universal sequence of beliefs that apply in pretty much any market and pretty much any offer. It's my first thing that I go to in terms of coming up with the sequence of beliefs for my pitches, for my promotions. I'll also include a link to that sequence of beliefs video that includes Dan Kennedy, Clayton, Makepeace, and my own insights and perspectives on it. And importantly, I'll include a link to the book Eugene Schwartz's Breakthrough Advertising, which you can get directly from Brian Kurtz. It's the only legitimate source of that book. Once again, I'm Roy Furr. This is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. And hey, please take action based on what you learn, because that's how you're going to get results. I will catch you again in the next episode. See you soon. Bye. Thank you once again for tuning in to this daily episode of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Remember, check out the links with this episode for even more value. Now make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and engage in every way you can to keep this show going and growing and delivering daily value to you. I'll catch you soon for your next big breakthrough.